Chuck Todd is NBC's political director. Chuck, good morning.
Good morning, Lester.
Let me pick up on the end of that story. Sarah Palin, the only candidate of the four who won't appear on the Sunday talk shows. Is that because the Republicans in their convention more or less marginalized the media, said the media can't be trusted, or is there something else going on?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, they're marginalizing the media a little bit so that they can try to blunt some of this criticism that is coming Governor Palin's way, so that they can sort of cast it aside and say, well, it's sour grapes. The media's upset. They can't get an interview with Governor Palin. They think they're entitled. We in the media somehow entitled to ask her questions, and that's a sense of entitlement they don't deserve. She should talk to the voters. There's only 58 days left of the election, etc. But at some point, this is going to probably become a problem for them. We're at 9 days now. One of the excuses that the campaign had a couple days ago was, well, Senator Biden didn't give an interview in his first week. That's true, but it was in the 9th day after he was picked, actually the 8th day after he was picked, that he did sit down with a major news organization. So we'll see. We're now at 9 days with Governor Palin. I have a feeling that at some point they're not going to be able to keep this up.
Chuck, undeniably, something has happened to the McCain campaign that is good for them in terms of the crowds. For months, we talked about the rock star reception Obama was getting. We're now beginning to see something like that with McCain. 12,000 people in Colorado Springs Saturday, as many as 10,000 in Michigan Friday. Who are these people, and is it the curiosity factor over Palin, or is something else transformed here?
Well, look, it's the key ingredient is Governor Palin. Let's see if Senator McCain can continue to get these crowds when she's not on the campaign trail with him. Today, I believe that he'll be on his own without her there. So, look, she has fired up the base. The Republican base, which had not been enthusiastic for Senator McCain, had been there as far as the numbers were concerned. You'd look into polls, and 85% of Republicans are supporting McCain. So by the numbers, they were there. But they weren't there with their hands. They were sitting on their hands. They weren't clapping. They weren't showing up and making phone calls. Governor Palin has changed that a lot. The question now is, what does she do to the last slice of undecided voters? Is she going to woo independent women over to their column? I think Republican women are finally coming home to the Republican Party. But what about that next slice of folks?
The last 2 weeks, we've seen the choreography and the stagecraft of conventions. The first presidential debate, if I'm not wrong, comes up near the end of this month. Is it time for the candidates to get specific? We didn't hear a lot of specifics about taxes and about immigration and those sorts of things. Are they going to start becoming more specific in their message now?
Look, I think in the next 3 weeks, not so much. I think the next 3 weeks are going to be about trying to figure out what is the battleground, per se. The debates will define the specifics. I think that both campaigns almost want to cruise substance-wise until the start of the debates, so that the debates themselves then decide what the final issues that they sit there and they argue over. Right now, I think it's going to be seeing where there's enthusiasm, seeing where the bounce of the conventions, letting the two conventions settle in, figuring out which states they need to be concentrating on and which ones they don't, and then allowing the debates to define the substance.
All right, Chuck Todd. Chuck, always good to talk to you. Thanks very much.
You got it, Lester.